ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ अष्टमोऽध्यायः।
अष्टमोऽध्यायः।
अर्जुन उवाच किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मं किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम।
किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मं किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम।
अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते।
अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते।
अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन।
अधियज्ञः कथं देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन।
प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः।
प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते।
अक्षरं
अक्षरं
ब्रह्म
ब्रह्म
परमं
परमं
स्वभावोऽध्यात्म उच्यते।
स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते।
भूतभावोद्भवकरो विसर्ग कर्म संगितः
भूतभावो भवकरो
भूतभावोद्भवकरो
विसर्गकर्मसङ्गितः।
विसर्गकर्मसङ्गितः।
अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः पुरुषश्चादिदैवतम्
अधिभूतं क्षरो
अधिभूतं क्षरो
भावश्चादिदैवतम्।
भावपुरुषश्चादिदैवतम्।
अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र देहे देहभृताम्बर
अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र देहे
अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र
देहभृताम्बर।
देहे देहभृताम्बर।
So this chapter starts with the question of Arjuna connected to the previous chapter. The previous chapter, Bhagavan introduced Sadhibhuta Adidevam Mam Sadhyagyam Chate Ye Viduhu Prayana Kale Pichamam Se Vidur Yukta Chetasaha Iti. So therefore Arjuna he asked here, this chapter is as a bija, as a seed in the previous chapter, last question, last stroke of the previous chapter. So 7 questions are asked by Arjuna, and the whole chapter forms the answer to this question. In fact, out of the 7 questions, 6 questions are answered in the immediate 2 shlokas. As an answer to the last question, all the other shlokas, 5th shloka onwards up to 28th shloka. So, what are the questions? Kim tad Brahma? What is that Brahma? Kim adhyatmam? Kim karma? Adibhutam kim? Proktam? Adidevam kim uchyate? Adhyagyam katam? Kaha atra degesmin? Katam kaha? Adhyagyah kaha? Katam atra degesmin? Prayana kalecha? Niyatad babigi. By the niyataha atma antakam yena saha prayana kale antima kale antakale parantakale paribuchanti sarve, as we saw in Mundaka. There it is para antakale, that is for jnani. For others it is antakala, the fag end of the life. Prayana kale katam nyayosi niyatatma bhihi, by the one, not by anyone. Niyataha atma yena saha, by them, who has prepared all his life and his mind is steady. How the person knows you. Katam nyeyaha asi. Katam nyeyaha asi. It means, how are you known? How can you be known? Means, that is Bhagavan. How can the person know you? Know you, the Ishvara. So, no means not the Vasudeva Krishna. Vasudeva. Vasudevam tvam katam nyeyaha asi iti Arjunasya prashnaha. And Bhagavan said, Aksharam Brahma Paramam Ksharati iti Ksharaha. Na Ksharam, Aksharam. That which doesn't undergo any Kshara, any change, that is Akshara. Therefore, Aksharam, the word referring to Atma. Here, Akshara, the word doesn't refer to Omkara. Omkara is Upasana. It's a Pratika. Because we use the word Akshara also for Omkara. Om Hityeva Aksharam Brahma. As we saw in Kathopanishad. Here, Akshara is Param Brahma, Nirgunam Brahma, Stingyam Anantam Brahma. That is where the word Paramam is. Param Brahma. So, Param Brahma. The same Param Brahma, when it is endowed with the guna attributes, pratika becomes Shabda Pratika, that is Omkara, or any symbol. But here it's Aksharam Brahma. Brahma Tattvam is asking, what is that Brahma? The answer is Aksharam Param Brahma, that is the answer. Swabhavaha Adhyatmam Uchyate. That Brahma, Param Brahma, Swabhav manifesting through this Sharira, Vyashti Sharira. Chaitanyam Atma manifesting through the Vyashti Shariram, it is Adhyatma. Adipurvaka Atma, Adhyatma, This is Pratyekatma ityartha. Atma here it is Shariram. Atmani Adi. That is, it has the Shariram as it's the manifesting medium. Atma Chaitanyam manifesting through the Shariram is called Adhyatma. That is Pratyekatma. So that is Pratyatma Swabhavaha. It's Swabhavaha Adhyatmam Uchyate. Swasya Bhavaha Swabhavaha. Bhavaha Swaha Bhavaha. So Swasya yes Swabhavaha is Swasya Parabrahmanaha Bhavaha Swabhavaha. Otherwise Swabhava means nature, not the nature. Swaha Bhavaha Swasya Bhavaha Kasya Brahmanaha Bhavaha Swabhavaha. Connected to Brahma. Pratyekatma Rupena. Pratyekatma Rupena Degam Degam Prati. In every Dega. Asti, Bhavaha, Bhavanam, Swabhavaha iti. That is called Swabhavaha Adhyatma iti uchite Pratyekatma. The same Brahma manifesting through the individual Veshti Shariram is Adhyatma, Pratyekatma. Kaschid Dhiraha Pratyekatmanam Aikshat. So Pratyekatma, Adhyatma, same. So, therefore, Pratyekatma we say with reference to the Upadhi, Veshti Upadhi. And Bhuta Bhavo Bhavakaraha Visargaha Karma Sangitaha. Bhuta Bhutanam Bhavaha. Bhavaha is their existence, a satta. It has come to existence. Bhutanam Bhavaha, Bhutanam Utpattihi, Bhutanam Jananam, Janma, Bhuta Bhavaha. Tam Karoti iti Bhuta Bhavat Bhavakarha. What brings the beings to existence? Karturajnaya Prapyate Palam. Karma Kim Param, Karma Tajjadam. So, karma, which brings about the existence of the beings, that is called karma. So what brings about the existence of the beings? That is called karma. Karma sangitaha. Visargaha karma sangitaha iti. Karma shabditaha, known by the name. Bhuta bhavanam utpatti. Utpatti karaha visargaha karma sangitaha iti. So bhutas, they come to beings. They come to existence. That is called karma. Karma is any yajna is also karma, and lokika karma, Vedic karma, all are karma. So karma produces result in the form of papa punya. The papa punya are stored in the account of the jiva in the form of sanchita. And from sanchita, a certain portion is a certain portion of sanchita manifests in the form of this prarabdha, and this gives the sharira. So prarabdha karma. This janma is because of prarabdha. Prarabdha is nothing a part of sanchita manifesting currently in this janma. So therefore karma, that is karma. So that therefore any action which gives punyam and papam, that is responsible for the janma of the shariram. That is called karma. Karma sangitaha visargaha iti. Sarga, the word is used because everything is looked upon as an yajna. A huge yajna is going on. So yajna is not only you perform sitting near the Agnikunda and offer ahuti. Here also, Visargaha, Yajnaha, Visarjanam. Visarjanam, the word, Yajna, the word we use only when Devata Uddeshena Yaha Tavya Parityaha, that is called Visargaha. Here also the same word is used, Visargaha, Yajnaha iti. So it can mean therefore the karma, the karma pala which is gained because of the yajna meaning karma, it could be Vedic karma, Laukika karma, any karma. Visargaha meaning yajna ityartaha. Yajna means yajna means action. Since it is Vedika, therefore the word yajna is used, Visarga is used. Visarga meaning yajna ityartaha. What is yajna? Yajanam iti yajnaha. Yaga, yajna we say. The devata uddeshena, the dravyasya parityagaha. You offer into the Agni. That is called yajna. And yajna by Vishnu, we say. So here it is, everything is spiritualized, Ishvarized. So therefore, Visarga, the word is used, meaning yajna ityartaha. So therefore, this yajna is called karma. Yajna which gives rise to punya papa, because of which the jivas are born, is called karma. Then adibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushashchadi devatam. Adibhutam. Adibhutam ksharaha bhavaha. The nature is ksharaha. As in contrast to Brahma, which is akshara. Adibhuta is kshara bhavaha. Therefore refers to the jagat, all the beings, all the things. All these are kshara. Subject to change. Adibhutam ksharo bhavaha. And purushashchadi devatam. Adidevatam, the Purusha which presides over the Adibhuta. Because of the Purusha, because of the the presiding deity, there is an order, there's a harmony, there is an order in the creation. Therefore, we say that is Adidevata. In the technical language of Vedanta, it is Hiranyagarbha. Samashtik Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Hiranyagarbha Ityartaha. That is Adibhutam. Because Hiranyagarbha is there. Hiranyagarbha presides over all the faculties. Blessed by Hiranyagarbha only, all the Indriyas function, then there is Indriya Vyapara, and the laws are presided over by the presiding deity. So everything functions within order because Adibhuta, we attribute to the invisible, the Devata. Hiranyagarbha it is. Hiranyagarbha. The language of the technical, the technical name, the language of Vedanta, we say it is Hiranyagarbha iti. Technically, it is Hiranyagarbha. So therefore, we know Hiranyagarbha is Samashti Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Atma Chaitanyam Hiranyagarbha iti. So Surya is Hiranyagarbha. It's one of the Devata presiding over the sun, and that is responsible for the sight in the eyes. Similarly, the direction, Dik Devata, presiding deity of the directions, who presides over the Shotra Indriya. Therefore, because of him only the Shotra functions. Not just because of the Golaka. Golaka is just, but still hearing doesn't happen. There is Sukshma is that Sukshma is connected to the Samashti Sukshma, Hiranyagarbha, it is Adidevatam, Adidev. Then similarly, Adiyajnaha, Yajna by Vishnu, we say Adiyajnaha is the technical language, in the language of Vedanta Sara. Samashti Karana Sharira Abhimani Chaitanyam Ishvaraha. Because Ishvara, he knows all our karma. Yes, all our accounts. Ishvara with Maya only gives rise to this Prapancha, this Prakriti, this Jagat. What type of Jagat? How the Srishti should be? It's all in keeping with the karma pala of the Jivas. Therefore, Samashti karma pala of the Jivas. Accordingly, Maya, Shakti, with the Ishvara, this existence, this world, the Jagat comes to existence. So, Adi Yajnaha, meaning Ishvaraha ityartaha. Adi Yajna is this, the Samashti Karana Prapancha Chaitanyam Adi Yajnaha. Bhagavan Adi Yajnaha. So, therefore, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, then Brahma, Adidev, then Karma. So, all these things talked about. So, Adi Yajna, finally, Adi Yajna is, it is Paramatma, who is when it is looked upon as a giver and the receiver of Karma Pala is Adi Yajna. It is Ishvara. That is why we say Ishvara. Dehe Asmin Dekhe. Dekhe Deha Vratam. The Deha Vratam is among the Deha Vrata. You are the best. It is Sambodhana. It is Varai Sambodhana. Dehabritam Vara. Dehe Dehabritam Vara. Dehe, Arjuna, he asked, Adhyajnaha Kaha Katam Atra. Adhyajnaha Katam Kotra. Atra Dehe Katam. So therefore, Adhyajnaha Atra Asmin Dehe Evam Iti. Then Dehabritambara Sambodhana, best among the Dehabrit, the one. Dehabrit, Deham Bib, the one. Brit is Bibarti iti Brit. Among the all the Jivas, Arjuna is the best because he has the grace of Vishwara. He has such a wonderful grace because of which Bhagavan himself is teaching him. Therefore, Dehabritam, Dehan Bibrati iti Dehabrit. So he is the best. He is a Punyavan ityartaha. Nanirdhana Shashti here. Nanirdhana Shashti cannot. Dehabritambara cannot compound. Nanirdharane. Anyway, Dehabritam, Dehan Bibrati iti Dehabrita, it is Upapada Samasa. So Degaha, which is the Adhikaranam, Adara. Therefore, Deha Adaraha Yasya Saha, Deha Adhikaranaha, Dehabrita. Among the Dehabritam, among the Jivas, he is the best. The Sambodhana. So this is the fourth shloka we have seen. Fourth shloka covering all the 6 questions asked by Arjuna. Then the last question. Paryana Kale Chakatam Nyayos Niyatatmabhiki. For that, the shloka starts from the 5th shloka onwards. From here onwards, this till the last, the 28th shloka. I think 28th shloka is the last shloka of this chapter. 28. So till the end of the chapter, the topic is the answer to the last question. Prayana Kale Chakatam Nyeyosi. That is the question. For that answer is given. Let us read the 5th shloka now. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram.
अन्तकाले
अन्तकाले च
मामेव
मामेव
स्मरन् मुक्त्वा
स्मरन् मुक्त्वा
कलेवरम्
कलेवरम्
Yaf prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah.
यः
यः
प्रयाति
प्रयाति
समद्भावं याति
समसद्भावं
नास्त्यत्र
याति
संशयः
नात्र संशयः
Madbhavam yati. Madbhavam yati gacchati prapnoti. When antakale cha, even at the antakale cha, antakale api, at the time of death, madbhavam yati, mam smaran, remembering me, madbhavam, mamabhavam, mamabhavam, my nature, atmabhavam, ishvara bhavam. When time of one's departure from this stula sharira tyaha. Maranam is nothing but the stula sharira tyaha. Whether you willingly give or it is forcefully taken, there is giving up. You have to give up this to take to another one. Therefore, change of shariram. Change of shariram is what is called that make it so complicated because of the abhimana of the shariram. We don't bother about changing the dress. But what about changing the shariram? Changing the shariram, you become a totally different person. What shariram we take, what dress we take, that also we don't know. Taking the sharira of a mosquito or amoeba, we don't know what shariram. Depends on our karma. So death is nothing but change of this sharira. And that happens that antakale, last moment, this when the jiva departs from this sharira, that time. So therefore, that is a very significant time. That is a significant time for the mumukshus, for the sadhakas. We are talking about the sadhaka mumukshus, significant time for them because all through the life, they have been practicing, doing sadhana, doing shravanam. Then the last moment matters because Bhagavan was going to say, whatever thought you entertain in the last moment, that becomes a seed for the next Janma. The last verse of the previous chapter is a seed for this chapter. Similarly, the life chapter, next to life, a new Adhyaya, the next chapter starts, for which the seed is what thought you entertain the last moment. That's why Antakala is important. That is, therefore, you cannot remember Bhagavan at the last moment. If you don't practice that in the life, all through his life, if you have practiced, then you would be able to remember the Lord naturally. It becomes natural. Because you never forget, you are never away from Bhagavan, therefore always remembering the Lord. All through the life, the person knows Aham Brahma, is aware of the fact. Therefore, last moment, remembering Aham Brahma is not a problem. The knowledge, it is there, it will not go away. So remembering means, here, remembering it is not Upasana. Aham Brahma Asmi, it is not something which is, you have to memorize it and remember. Here we are talking about the knowledge, therefore, Aham Brahma Asmi iti, that Jnanam, it is not a subject matter for memorization. It is Jnanam. So, therefore, unless it is the knowledge is assimilated, Aham Brahma Asmi. Unless this knowledge is well assimilated, then this knowledge will be like any other knowledge. Therefore, at that moment, last moment, at the Antakala, because of the pains and whatever the troubles, one may not able to remember if the knowledge is not assimilated. But the one who knows Aham Brahma, he can never forget, because it is its Swarupa, its nature. Therefore, being the Swarupatva, Swarupa Jnanam is there. Therefore, that once Jnanam is there, it cannot go. That is the nature of the Jnanam. But this for a Jnani, all through his life, he has lived. He is a Jivan Muktaha, Jivan Iva Muktaha, Jivan Muktaha. Therefore, for him, what thought and all doesn't matter. He is already Muktaha. So the Maranam doesn't make any difference, doesn't cause any change in them. Jivan Muktaha, then Maranantaram is Muktaha, Videga Muktaha. He is not a Jiva anymore, he is Brahma. But what about the other beings? What about the other people? For Jivan Muktaha, this Sukshma Shariram also merges with the Samashti Sukshma, and Karana Shariram also dissolves. So completely gone. So no karma. So that he doesn't travel. Here itself, Atra eva Brahma Bhavati. So he's one with Atma, Paramatma. That is what is Madbhavam. That is what is Moksha is. So Madbhavam Yati is, it is not at the last fag end of the life, you study Shastra and therefore gain knowledge and give up this Shariram. That is not the meaning. Antakale Smaran Muktva. It means all through life the person is a mumukshu, he has studied, he has done Shravanam, and the knowledge is assimilated, then the Shariram is given up, then Madbhavam Yati. Saha Prayati Madbhavam. Therefore, here, with regard to this, there is no doubt. One need not doubt what will happen to that person. Madbhavam Yati, he becomes one with Brahma. This is about the Jnani. Then the other people, Upasakas. So, there are people who does Upasana. Sakama Upasana, Nishkama Upasana. Nishkama Upasana is Jnanam. Nirgunam. Brahma is Jnanam. Sakama upasana is sakama upasaka. People who does upasana, who does the worship, who prays to the Lord with the worldly ends. As the worldly ends in mind, they do upasana. Is sakama, they are sakama upasaka. Saguna Brahma upasaka, sakara upasaka. Nishkama upasakas are those who want only Bhagavan, nothing else. They are Nishkama upasaka. Therefore, Nishkama upasana, it is in the form of, it is Jnanam, it is Vichara, Atma Vichara. Therefore, they become free. Sadhya Mukti, Jivaneva Mukti. Because of Jnanam, they become free. Then the Jivan Muktaha becomes Videha Muktaha after Maranam. Then the other person who is Saguna Brahma Upasaka, the Saguna Brahma Upasaka, at the last moment of his life, he remembers his Upasya Devata. Upasya Devata could be anyone. Could be Devi, could be Rama, Krishna, Ishvara, Shiva, Upasya Devata. Then what will happen to him? For him, how do you interpret the shloka? Yaf prayati samadbhava, madbhavam yati. That person will go to Brahmaloka. That person will go to Brahmaloka again. Because of the differences in the Upasana, because of the differences in the Upasana, there are differences in the Upasaka. Therefore, having gone to Brahmaloka, if the Upasaka is Mumukshu, then only he gets Upadesha from Brahmaji and becomes Muktaha, that is Videha Mukti. Then Madbhavam Yati. When the Pralaya, at the end of the Pralaya, when Brahmaji also dissolves, along with Brahmaji, he also gets Mukti. Till then, Brahmaji as is active. Brahmaji is a position, a designation, is active. So this person also will be with Brahmaji, with the Brahmaloka, with Brahmaji. At the end of the Pralaya, gets Mukti, that is Videha Mukti. Whereas other people who have reached but not received the Jnana, Abrahma Bhavana Loka, Bhavan going to say that here, the upcoming shloka, he returns back. He returns back and because of the punya takes again Janma and it continues. So Yaf Prayati Samadbhavam is, you have to interpret Madbhavam depending on the sadhaka, the nature of the sadhaka. Is he a Saguna Brahma Upasaka? That means he is a Nirguna Brahma Upasaka or Saguna Brahma Upasaka. Is he the Vedanta, that is a student of Vedanta, pursues Vedanta, or he does Upasana. So, therefore, accordingly, Madbhavam Yati. So, Prayana, that is Antakale, Prayana Kale. Prayana Kala doesn't have any relevance to Jnani. Prayana Kala doesn't have any relevance to the Jnani because Jnani Jivan Eva Muktaha. So, therefore, if a person meditates on Saguna Brahma, that person go to Brahma Loka and gaining knowledge there, he will get Mukti, Karma Mukti. So, therefore, the benefit of the Upasana is he will reach the Lord, he will reach the Bhagavan, he will reach Brahma, going to the Brahma Loka, he will reach. That is the benefit of Saguna Brahma Upasana. Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Nirguna Brahma Upasana means it is Jnanam. Jnanam is Sadhya Eva Mukti. There is no Antakala. Antakala, therefore, doesn't have relevance for the Jnani. It has relevance for the Upasaka. It has relevance for the Ajnani. Ajnani, there is no choice in the sense, if it doesn't remember Bhagavan, at least if he remembers Bhagavan, the next Janma will be accordingly, he will take accordingly Punya because of the remembrance. So he will get some Punya Janma, he will be maybe born in a good family and then continue. Again, the samskara is there. If he has been a mumukshu, then he will continue as a mumukshu, as we saw in the 6th chapter, he will continue his sadhana and gain moksha. For a Saguna Brahma Upasaka, he will go to Brahma Loka. He goes to Brahma Loka and gains Brahma and gains Jnanam through Brahmaji, from Brahmaji. Because the upasakas, they do upasana with limited ancient mind. Therefore, they gain other loka. Ultimate loka is Brahma loka. So Brahma loka they gain. And there are upasakas who does upasana for gaining certain lokas. Therefore, they gain accordingly, they go to the lokas. So therefore, the gati, the movements are talked about. Here, antakale, mam smaran muktva, those who remember me, what is this me? That, that me has to be interpreted Saguna Brahma or Nirguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahmas, that the difference is because of the difference in the Upasaka. Saguna Brahma Upasaka, Nirguna Upasaka. Saguna Upasana, Nirguna Upasana. So accordingly, they reach the Lord. Madbhavam Yati. Bhagavan said generally, Madbhavam Yati. Madbhavam, it's already Yati, already gained by the Jnani. Madbhavam Yati. That is by Jivan Muktaha. So therefore, this shloka can be interpreted in two ways depending on whom we talk about. Do we talk about the Saguna Brahma Upasaka or Nirguna Brahma Upasaka? If it is Nirguna Brahma Upasaka, it's like, therefore it's like Nirguna Brahma Upasaka, Nirguna Brahma Jnani. Is Nirguna Brahma Upasaka means he has by Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, he has got Nishta in Jnanam. Therefore, this Antakara Smaranam has no relevance. So while living is free, after Maranam, he becomes free, continues to be free. Whereas Saguna Brahma Upasaka, Madhvavam Yati means he reaches the Brahma Loka from Brahmaji, he gains Jnanam and becomes free, Krama Mukti. So therefore this as for the Jnani, since it has no relevance. Therefore, Antakala Smaranam, it is relevant for Ajnani and Saguna Brahma Upasaka. Ajnani also, even if he remembers the Lord at the last moment, he has some chance of getting not moksha, getting another janma, another punya janma, another janma because of his remembrance. So he will be blessed with another janma where he can pursue his sadhana, pursue his life, get some punya janma he gets. That is the idea. So therefore, who departs giving up this body, remembering me alone, that person gains my subhava, my madbhavam. Antakale, maranakale, mam eva is, Bhashakara says, adhyatmadi visishtena avadharena, smaranam, parameshwaram vishnum, smaran, remembering the Paramatma, Parameshwara, smaran, kalevaram is shariram. Another name for shariram is called kalevaram, shariram. Aham abhimanavatvat, it is shariram. Yaha shariram muktva parityajya saha yati gacchati. Putra gacchati? Vaishnavam tattvam yati. They get Vaishnava tattva. Vaishnava tattva means not Vaishnava. Bhashikara says Vaishnavam tattvam. Vishnoho bhavaha Vaishnavaha Vaishnavam tattvam yati. With regard to this, there is no samshaya. Therefore, the last thought is important. That makes the difference. So that is the essence of this shloka. So here, because Smaran Bhavam, Mam Smaran Bhavam, it says, therefore we can take it as Saguna, Brahma Upasaka. Because for them only the travel is there. Travel to Brahma Loka, therefore Karma Mukti. Saguna Brahma Upasaka only gain Karma Mukti. Therefore, this chapter deals with what happens to the Jiva after Maranam. Ajnana Jiva comes to the world again, or takes Janma again, whatever may be the Janma in keeping with his karma. Then the Saguna Brahma Upasaka, what happens to him? What marga he travels? Ajnani travels to the Krishna marga, comes back. Saguna Brahma Upasaka, because of the Upasana Balam, travels to the Shukla marga. Where they go, that is what he says, Mam Yati, Madbhavam Yati. And Nirguna Brahma Upasaka, for them, the last thought has no relevance. Because I take Nirguna Brahma Upasaka meaning Jnani. He Jivaneva Muktaha, therefore Jnani. Therefore, this giving up the Shariram, it doesn't make any difference. He continues to be free. What about the Mumukshu who has not made this life? As Arjuna asked, Ayati Shraddhayo Petaha. That Ayati Shraddhaya Upetaha. What will happen to the person who is with inadequate effort? He is a Mumukshu, but the effort is not sufficient. What will happen to the person? Yoga Chalita Manasaha. Aprapya Yoga Samsitim. Kam Gatim Krishna Gachati. What Gati? Father Bhagavan already answered in the 6th chapter. Prapya Punyakritam Lokan Ushitva Shashwati Samaha Suchinam Shimatam Gehe Yoga Brashtaha Abhijagati comes back again and continues sadhana and works for moksha. So he continues. Therefore, 3 people, Ajnani, Ajnani, and Mokshu. Ajnani no relevance. Therefore, relevance only for Jnani has no relevance only for Ajnani and this Saguna Brahma Upasaka. So, Krava Mukti is a topic. So, Madbhavam Yati, Madbhavam, Mama Bhavam Yati at the end. At the end, they will gain. With regard to that, there is no doubt. They will come to me alone. Therefore, there is no doubt with regard to that. Iti atra na samshayaha. Whether it is Videga Mukti or Krava Mukti. Finally, they come to me alone. But Krava Mukti is not easy. Because Upasana. Upasana is not that much easy. Upasana is not just Upasana with karma. So it requires a lot of preparation. Therefore, the Upasana is difficult. Shravanam, in fact, Jnanam is easier compared to Upasana. And Upasana also, you have to go to Brahmaloka and then being there for till the end of this Kalpa, getting Jnanam. Whereas by Jnanam, at Sadhyo Eva Mukti, here itself, you become free. So therefore, this shloka has more relevance for Saguna Brahma Upasaka. Then the next shloka, he said in Krama Mukti. So that is, next shloka says, Bhagavan says, let us read the shloka. Yam yam bhapismaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram.
Yam
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajate kalevaram.
Tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
Tam
Tame vaiti kaunteya sada tadbhavitaha.
So the previous shloka, Bhagavan said that whoever thinks of me at the time of that Antakale, they reach me, they reach Ishvara, Mam, Yati. Now, what is the logic? Saying, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, tejante kalavaram, tam tame vaiti kaunte. That is the logic. The last thought is a seed for the next Janma. Whatever the thought one entertains at the time of death, that thought becomes stronger, that the person gains. So, it doesn't mean if you think of Sargaloka, you go to Sargaloka. Not thinking, you don't reach Sargaloka. To reach Sargaloka, to gain Sargaloka, one has to do karma. Then only Sargaloka prapti. So, Sargaloka is gained because of the Punyapalam. One must have Punyapalam to go to Sargaloka. That mere fancy, that the thought, entertaining a thought, some of you entertain at the time of death, then you don't reach Sargaloka. Because certain, the lifestyle karma are required for going to the Sargaloka. So here, it means then yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejante kalavaram, it is said. Yam yam vapi means remembering whatever things you remember. When kalevaram, remembering kalevaram tejante. Kalevaram, this body. Remembering remembering about whatever things. This the person drops the shariram. Tam tame vaiti. Tam eva eti. that alone this person gains. What he gains? In keeping with whatever he remembers. When? Throughout his life. That is important. You have to supply throughout his life. In keeping with whatever he remembers. Because what would he remember? He would remember only what he had remembered throughout his life. Suddenly he remembers Swarga means he will not go to Swarga Loka. So therefore, final thought at the time of death, that is determined by the thought what you have entertained all through your life. So final thought also, it is not just by chance, it is the final thought is determined by the thought what you have entertained all through your life. And the final thought now will decide the journey after death. That is why just remembering something, you will not gain that. Surgaloka involves punyam. Punyam. The punya should be earned through the karma. So no punyam is there. Just remembering Surgaloka will you gain Surgaloka. So Surgaloka praptihi nabhavati. So you have to interpret logically. The shloka, when we read, the face reading may look like this. Whatever the person remembers, he gains that. If he remembers the president of US, then next life will become president. That may be possible, but not Surga Loka and all. Because what thought he entertains at the final moment, that is decided by the lifestyle he had led all through. The type of thought he entertained all through throughout his life. Even the thought that occurs at even the thought that occurs in our mind while living, it is not be deliberately entertained. The thoughts comes and go without our deliberation, without our control. How do you expect to have the particular thought to come to your mind at the time of death, when that too, that our body, mind, senses all are without they function without our conscious. So therefore, what will be our state of mind also? Therefore, while living itself, while healthy, hale and healthy itself, we don't have save our mind. And what to talk about the save over the mind at the final moment. Therefore, this smaran bhavam tajante, meaning the thought which has become stronger because of the life he had led, because of the life, because of the life, and because of the life and the thought what he had entertained throughout his life. That is why one has to be careful with regard to what thoughts one entertains, because there is a repetition. If you see our thought pattern, there is some repetition. We repeatedly think the same way and the same thing. We repeatedly enter the pattern of thoughts pertaining to a thing. So, therefore, smaran bhavam tyajante kalevaram tam tameveti. Tam tam eva eti. That alone he gains. Sada tadbhava bhavitaha. The thoughts regarding any, that's why the last line. Sada tadbhavam tadbhava bhavitaha. Tadbhavam is the thoughts regarding any object which is practiced throughout the life. That alone will come at the time of death. Whatever you think predominantly in your life, that will come at the last moment, and that will determine your future destination, future janma also. So therefore, it is a result. It is the final thought also. It is a result of our thoughts, the karma along the samskara, whatever you have done, that determines, and that decides a future life. So therefore, if the person has done upasana, is doing upasana throughout his life, he is upasaka. So for that person, it becomes easy or natural to remember Ishvara at the last moment. Therefore, tam tame eva yeti. That is why the Nitya Naimittika, the karma, Nitya Samskara, Nitya Puja, etc. Why does a person do Nitya Puja and all? That is Nitya. It is daily it is done. Daily it is done so that that becomes your samskara. The samskara decides the thought. The stronger the thoughts, so will become your nature. And the same thought will come at the end of the life, even without your volition. So therefore, yam yam vapis maran bhavam tyajatante kalevaram shariram tyajati ante at the end. So that determines the future janma. So therefore, sada tadbhava bhavitaha सदा तद्भाव भावितः ये कौन्तेय सदा तद्भाव भावितः सन् अन्ते यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं कलेवरं त्यजति तं तम एव एति इति. So therefore, see the deepest impression in our mind, which has been created, the samskara which has been created because of our repeated practice in the life, sadhana practice, so that will be remembered at the time of death, and that determines the future destination. So that is the meaning. Sada tadbhava avitaha iti. Tam tameve eva yeti. So therefore, tam tameve yeti. If Ishvara is remembered, then Ishvara is gained. If anything else is remembered other than Ishvara, Artha, Kama, etc., that alone you gain in the next janma. All through the life you have been complaining about something, and that you remember. So next janma you get accordingly. So therefore, therefore only the life, therefore only dharma. If you are dharmavan, if you are follow dharma throughout the life, then thought of dharma predominates. So therefore, next janma will be in keeping with that. If you have done all through your life adharma, then at the end of life, you cannot entertain a good thought. You will entertain a thought which is bad only. So that determines your next janma. So what thought we entertain? It is because of the practice abhyasa. That is why while living, while conscious, one has to be alert to what thoughts we entertain. If you are not alert to the thoughts become it takes a cyclic pattern, and that becomes our swabhava nature, and that later becomes difficult to correct. And then when the last moment comes, then we don't have any say. Therefore, as the thought, so the next janma will be, and the thought of the last moment, that because of the previous thoughts. So all these are connected. Karana karya is that. Suddenly nothing happens. Because you call the name of the Lord at the last moment, you don't reach the Lord. Maybe some punya may be there. So that's why it is said here, Sada Tadbhava, that is very important. Sada Tadbhava, the word is important. Sada Tadbhava Bhavitaha, but people, they don't see that. They quote only this. Whatever thought you entertain at the last moment, that decides your future life. It is not so. We have to complete, the sloka is complete only the second line. Sada Tadbhava Bhavitaha iti. Tadbhavaha. Tasmin Bhavaha Tadbhavaha. Tasmin, that is Tasmin Bhavaha Tadbhavaha. That is your bhava, that is the thought, which should be recorded to that. So that you gain. Tasmin bhavaha tadbhavaha tadbhava bhavitaha, entertained by you. Bhavitaha means smaranam. Tadbhava bhavitaha is smaryamanataya, abhyastaha, referring to the person here. Tadbhava bhavitaha, abhyastaha yena saha, by the person who has entertained this thought, that person, that he reaches. Tam eti. Tam eti, the vipsa is that. The vipsa is yam, therefore tam. Whatever that he reaches. That is the That is the ipsa, yam. So tadbhava bhavitaha, tasmin bhava tadbhavaha saha bhavitaha, smaryamanataya abhyastaha, that has been practiced. Bhavitaha, practiced repeatedly. Repeated practice. Abhyasa is that. Because of abhyasa, the person is what he is. Now, tadbhava bhavitaha, tam yeti. Naturally, tam eva yeti. He reaches that alone. Because the person he has done the abhyasa, the practice of entertaining the thought, whether deliberately or without his knowledge, yes, unconsciously. Unconscious meaning has not been alert. So that alone he gains. Ityartaha. That is the meaning. So therefore, tadbhavavitaha is very important. That is why the next shloka says, therefore, being a mumukshu, being a sadhaka, what you are supposed to do. The next shloka, you be a yogi. You do karma with the yoga buddhi. Next shloka, let us read. Therefore, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha.
Tasmat
तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मरयुध्य च
मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्मामे संशयः
मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्मामेव
Mayyarpitamanovbuddhirmamevैष्यस्य
संशयः
संशयः संशयम, both readings are there, it's okay. Tasmat, therefore Bhagavan says sarveshu kaleshu, at all time, in all periods of time, ma manuspara, may you remember me. Then only you can remember me, and you can kalevaram tejati. This giving up the body, remembering me is possible only when you remember me all the time. So therefore, mam anusmaranam it is. Smaranam, not just a smaranam, anusmaranam. You remember me all the time. Sarveshu kaleshu. And yudhya. Yudhya, here context is fine, therefore yudhya. Otherwise, do your duty. Swadharmam achara. Karma kuru. You do your duty. Do karma yoga. Doing the duty, do what is to be done, and the Ishwararpana buddhi, and whatever whatever the result comes. Ishwararpana buddhi and prasada buddhya svikuru. Karma kuru, karma palam svikuru. Ishwararpana buddhya. So therefore, it means antakarna shuddhi is implied. This is karma yoga means antakarna shuddhi. Without antakarna shuddhi, how can the mind be focused on atma, paramatma? Therefore, the focus on atma, paramatma comes the more and more. It is gained only when chitta is made shuddha. So chitta shuddhi, when chitta is made shuddha, when chitta shuddhi increases. When you become more and more pure, naturally what happens? Your duties will reduce, and you will spend more and more time on upasana. Upasana in the form of saguna brahma upasana, nirguna brahma upasana. So mayyarpita mano buddhihi, offering all your manaha buddhihi. Mana stands for the emotions, desires, manaha, and buddhihi. Everything is offered to Ishvara. Offering everything to Ishvara, mind to the Ishvara, all the desires to Ishvara, everything is directed to Ishvara. That is called offering. It means you submit, you have Bhagavan in your mind, nothing else. So everything centered around Ishvara. Everything centered around the Bhagavan alone, Ishvara alone. So that is Arpita Buddhi. Mayyarpita Mano Buddhihi. So the Buddhi should get convinced that Bhagavan is the goal. Reaching the Lord is the goal. That is the ultimate purpose of life, the goal of life. Then only Buddhi can be offered. Otherwise, how can Buddhi be offered? So you should be convinced about this Purushartha Nishtaya, Mayarpita. That is what the word says. Mayarpita Mano Buddhihi implies Purushartha Nishtaya. You are very clear, conclusive about the goal, what you want to gain. The purpose of life is clear, therefore you work for it. So the means and the end are clear. So Mayarpita Mano Buddhihi, you are convinced about the goal of life, the purpose of life. And therefore, once you are convinced, then you accordingly your sadhana will be. You will be convinced with your sadhana. The means have to be proper as to in keeping with the end. Therefore, you get conviction in what you do, sadhana. Mam eva aishyasi. Therefore, when your sadhana is proper, jnana sadhana, or if it is upasana, karma sadhana, upasana sadhana, then no doubt you will come to me. If it is jnana sadhanam, jivan mukti. If it is upasana, then karma mukti. Anyway, you come to me alone. Mam eva aishyasi. Again, Bhagavan says, na samshayaha. There is no doubt with regard to this. There is no samshayaha atra asmin vishaye na nasti iti. Mam eva aishyasi tvam. Asamshayah, without any doubt. You need not entertain any doubt whether I will make it or not. If you are committed, you will come to me. Very helplessly you will come to me. There is no choice for you. Either Krama Mukti or Jivan Mukti or Videha Mukti. So Mukti is guaranteed, provided if you follow the sadhana sincerely, if you are committed to the sadhana. Vayyarpita Bano Buddhihi, Karma Yoga. So being a Karma Yogi, doing a duty, therefore, getting Antakarna Shuddhi, you can completely dedicate yourself in doing upasana or jnana sadhanam. Why upasana? Because the chapter talks about the gati. Therefore, is upasana upasaka. Even though the Upanishad, even the Bhashyakara and it stresses on Sadhya Mukti, Jivan Mukti, Karma Mukti as a topic, occurs in the Vedanta. And this chapter is the only chapter in the Gita which deals with Karma Mukti. There is no other chapter. All other chapters, everywhere we talk about the Atma Swarupam, it is Jnanam only talked about. Here it is Upasana. So Upasana, by Upasana can you get moksha? No. Upasana you become more eligible. By Upasana you get more eligible to reach Brahmaji, to go to Brahmaloka Brahmaji. And then Jnanam. Again Jnanam only. Jnanam is a sadhana for moksha. There is no other way. When that can be gained here, then why you want to struggle all your life doing sadhana? That is upasana. But there are people, upasakas are there. Therefore, for them, mam eva aishyasi. Asmin vishe na samsheha nasti iti. Bhagavan gives the guarantee. Therefore, whether you are a jnana sadhaka or whether you are upasaka, that is why I said nirguna brahma upasaka, or whether you are saguna brahma upasaka, mam eva aishyasi. You come to me. Therefore, there is no samshaya, there is no doubt with regard to this iti. And this is going to be further said. I think we'll stop here. We'll see in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Tunvanti Divyai Stavai Vedai Sangapada Kramo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवादः शारदाजी.
धन्यवाद